The hospital monitor beeped, my chest ached, and my daughter's voice on the phone was ice cold. "We're at the beach, Mom. You'll be fine." I woke up in the ICU, the air sharp with antiseptic, my body heavy under thin hospital sheets. The heart attack had hit like a freight train, leaving me gasping on my kitchen floor, alone. I was Clara, 67, a widow who'd given everything to my daughter, Diane, and her kids, Mia and Noah. My savings paid for their house, their car, Mia's dance lessons, Noah's soccer camp. I thought we were family, unbreakable. But as I lay there, tubes in my arms, the truth cut deeper than any knife. Diane wasn't here. Neither were the kids. They were on a beach in Florida, sipping lemonade, while I fought to breathe. The nurse, Jenny, held my hand, her eyes kind. "Your daughter called," she said, passing me my phone. My heart lifted, hoping for worry, for love. I dialed Diane, my hands shaking. "Mom, we're at the beach," she said, her voice flat, waves crashing in the background. "You'll be fine. The doctors said so. We'll visit when we're back." The line went dead, and I stared at the ceiling, tears burning my eyes. Fine? I wasn't fine. I was broken, and not just my heart. The room spun, the beeping monitor loud in my ears. I saw their house, the one I'd paid for, its white walls, the pool they loved. I saw Diane's new sunglasses, Mia's designer backpack, Noah's shiny cleats, all from my savings, my years of waitressing after Frank died. I'd given it all, thinking it was love. But love didn't leave you in the ICU to go on vacation. Love didn't hang up when you could barely speak. Jenny came back, checking my chart. "You need rest, Clara," she said, her voice soft. I nodded, but rest wasn't what I needed. I needed answers. I grabbed my phone again, scrolling through texts. Diane's last message from yesterday: "Mom, we're off to Florida. Don't worry, the neighbors checking your mail." No mention of my collapse, my ambulance ride. They'd known I was sick, and they left anyway. My chest tightened, not from the heart attack, but from the weight of their betrayal. I called my neighbor, Ellen, my voice hoarse. "Clara, thank God," she said, her voice thick. "I found you on the floor." I called 911. Diane said you'd be okay. That they'd handle it when they got back. Handle it? I was their mother, their grandmother, not a chore to postpone. "Ellen," I said, my voice shaking, "did they know I was in the hospital before they left?" A pause, too long. "Yes," she whispered. "I told Diane you were bad. She said they couldn't cancel the trip." My heart sank, the phone slipping in my hand. They'd chosen a vacation over me, knowing I might not make it. I thanked Ellen, hung up, and stared at the 4 in my arm. The Clara who'd trusted them, who'd given everything, was gone. In her place was someone new, someone hurt but awake. Jenny came in again, her face worried. "Your blood pressure's up," she said, adjusting the monitor. "What's wrong?" I looked at her, my voice steady despite the tears. "My family left me here," I said. "They're on a beach and I'm alone." Her eyes widened, then softened, like she'd seen this before. "You're not alone," she said, squeezing my hand. "You've got me, the staff. And you've got you." Her words hit hard, a spark in the dark. Me. I'd forgotten Clara, the woman who'd raised Diane alone, who'd kept going after Frank's cancer, who'd survived this heart attack. I wasn't just a mother, a grandmother. I was someone worth fighting for. I asked Jenny for my purse, my hands shaky but sure. Inside was my wallet, my bank card still there, but I noticed something else, a receipt tucked in a side pocket. It was for a withdrawal, $5,000, dated 2 days ago, the day before my collapse. My account, my money, but not my signature. Diane's handwriting, sharp and familiar, stared back at me. I felt sick, my chest tight again. She'd taken my money, then left me to die. I showed Jenny the receipt, my voice trembling. "This isn't mine," I said. She frowned, her face serious. "Clara, you need to call the bank," she said. "And maybe the police." Police. Against my daughter. The thought made me dizzy, but so did the truth. Diane wasn't family anymore. She was a thief, and I was her mark. I called the bank, my voice weak but firm. The clerk, a young man named Tom, confirmed it. "There was a withdrawal, ma'am," he said. "And other transactions. Your account's down to $200. My savings, my life gone." I asked him to freeze the account, my hands shaking. "We'll need you to come in," he said. "Or send someone you trust." Trust? The word stung. I didn't trust Diane, not anymore. But I trusted Ellen. I called her again, telling her about the money, the receipt. "I'll go to the bank," she said, her voice fierce. "Clara, I'm so sorry. I didn't know." I believed her. She wasn't family, but she was here when they weren't. As I hung up, Jenny sat beside me, her face kind but firm. "What do you want to do, Clara?" she asked. I looked at the receipt, Diane's handwriting, then at the locket around my neck, Frank's gift, his initials carved inside. I saw his smile, his belief in me. "I want to fight," I said, my voice steady now. "I want my life back." Jenny nodded, a small smile breaking through. "Good," she said. "You're stronger than you think." I wasn't sure, but I felt it, a fire, small but growing, telling me I wasn't done. Diane and the kids could have their beach, their lies. I'd given them a house, a life. Now I'd take it all back, and they'd never see me coming. The bank statement shook in my hands, $50,000 gone, and Diane's signature on every line, while I lay dying. The ICU was quieter at night, but my mind screamed louder than the monitors. I sat up in bed, the tubes tugging at my arms, my heart still weak but my anger strong. Clara, the woman who'd given everything to Diane, was fading, replaced by someone new, someone who saw the truth. Diane, my daughter, hadn't just left me in the hospital to go on a beach vacation with Mia and Noah. She'd stolen my savings, $50,000, my life's work, while I fought to breathe. The receipt I'd found, $5,000 withdrawn, was just the start. Ellen, my neighbor, had gone to the bank for me, and her call that morning confirmed it. "Clara," she'd said, her voice shaking, "there's more. Big withdrawals, loans in your name. Diane's been using your account for months." Months. I'd been in her house, cooking their dinners, paying their bills, while she robbed me blind. I clutched Frank's locket, its silver cool against my skin, his initials a reminder of the man who'd believed in me. The nurse, Jenny, checked my chart, her face worried. "You're looking pale, Clara," she said, adjusting the four. "You need to rest." Rest? I couldn't rest, not with Diane's betrayal burning in my chest. "Jenny," I said, my voice low, "if your family stole from you, left you here, what would you do?" She paused, her eyes meeting mine, full of understanding. "I'd fight," she said. "But you've got to be smart, Clara. You're still healing." Smart. I nodded, but my hands shook as I held the phone. Ellen's text open. Bank sent statements. "I'm bringing them tomorrow." Statements. Proof Diane had taken everything, my money, my trust, my home. I called Ellen, my voice steadier than I felt. "Did you see the house?" I asked. Their house, the one I'd paid for, the one I'd lived in until my surgery. Ellen hesitated, her voice soft. "It's empty, Clara. They're still in Florida, I think. But there's a for sale sign in the yard." A for sale sign. My heart stopped. The house I'd bought for them, my name still on the deed, was being sold, and I hadn't known. "Diane didn't tell me," I said, my voice breaking. Ellen's tone hardened. "She's been talking to a realtor, Clara. I heard her on the phone before they left. She said it was her house now." Her house. The words hit like a slap. I'd signed the deed over to help them, but kept my name on it, just in case. Now I saw why Diane had kept me close. Not love, but control. Jenny sat beside me, her shift ending but her kindness staying. "What's going on?" she asked, seeing my face. I told her about the house, the money, Diane's cold voice on the phone. My voice cracked, but I didn't cry. "Not yet. They left me to die," I said. "And now they're selling my house." Jenny's face tightened, her hand on mine. "You're not dead, Clara," she said. "And that house is yours. You need a lawyer." A lawyer? The thought scared me, but so did losing everything. I nodded, my mind racing. Ellen had mentioned her brother, Gary, a retired attorney who helped with small cases. "I'll call him," I said. "Tomorrow," she said when I asked. "He'll know what to do." But tomorrow felt too far. I couldn't stay here, waiting for Diane to take more. I looked at my phone, the bank app still open, my balance mocking me. $200. But there was something else, a notification buried in my emails. A credit card statement, one I didn't recognize, with charges from Florida. Hotels, restaurants, a $3,000 jewelry purchase. My name, my credit, but Diane's doing. I showed Jenny to the email, my hands trembling. She's using a new card, I said. She thinks I won't find out. Jenny's eyes were fierce now. You need to report this, Clara, she said. Fraud. Theft. She can't get away with it. Fraud. The word felt heavy, like a door slamming shut. Diane, my daughter, the girl I'd raised alone, was a criminal now. But so was I, in a way, guilty of trusting too much, loving too hard. I called the bank again, Tom the clerk, picking up. I didn't authorize these charges, I said, reading the email. There's a credit card in my name, but it's not mine. He paused, his voice serious. We'll freeze it, ma'am, he said. But there's more. Someone tried to open another loan today, using your information. We flagged it because of your call yesterday. Another loan. My chest ached, not from the heart attack, but from the weight of Diane's greed. Stop it, I said, my voice firm. And send everything to the police. Tom agreed, promising to email the details to Ellen. I hung up, my hands shaking, Frank's locket in my pocket. Diane wasn't just taking my money. She was erasing me, piece by piece. Jenny brought me water, her eyes kind but worried. You're doing the right thing, she said. But you need to protect yourself. Where will you go when you're discharged? Go. I hadn't thought that far. Diane's house wasn't home anymore. I couldn't go back. Not after this, not after this. I don't know, I said, my voice small. But then I thought of Ellen, her warm house, her offer to help. Maybe my neighbors, I said. Jenny nodded, writing it down. Good, she said. You need someone who's on your side. Someone. Not Diane, not Mia or Noah. They'd chosen a beach, a life without me. I saw them now, laughing, their faces bright, my money in their hands. The hurt was deep, but so was my resolve. As Jenny left, my phone buzzed. A text from Diane, as if she'd sensed me. Mom, hope you're feeling better. We're having a blast. Back in a few days. No sorry, no worry, just a photo of her on the beach, sunglasses on, a drink in her hand. My hands shook, anger surging through me. A blast. I was in the ICU, my savings gone, my house for sale. And she was having a blast. I didn't reply. I turned off the phone and looked at the hospital ceiling, the stars faint outside. Clara wasn't gone. I was still here, still fighting. Diane could have her vacation, her lies. But I'd take back what was mine, and I'd make sure she felt it. The house, the money, my life, it wasn't hers to steal. And I was done being her fool. Hook, Diane's voice screamed through the phone. You're ruining our lives. But I held the house deed, knowing it was mine to take back. The ICU lights buzzed above me, but my heart pounded louder. I sat in my hospital bed, Frank's locket in my hand, its weight grounding me as I stared at the papers Ellen had brought. Bank statements, loan applications, all with Diane's handwriting, my name forged across them. My savings, $50,000, gone to fund their beach trips, their cars, their lies. The worst was the realtor's card, tucked in the pile, proof Diane was selling the house I'd paid for, the one still in my name. I wasn't Clara, the trusting mother, anymore. I was Clara, the woman who'd survived a heart attack, Diane's betrayal. And now, I'd survive this. Jenny, the nurse, checked my monitor, her eyes worried. You're up late, she said, her voice soft. Everything okay? I shook my head, holding up the realtor's card. My daughter's selling my house, I said, my voice shaking. She thinks it's hers. Jenny's face hardened, her hand on mine. That's not right, Clara, she said. You've got to stop her. I nodded, my mind racing. Ellen had called her brother, Gary, the retired attorney, and he was coming to the hospital that morning. But before he arrived, my phone buzzed, Diane's name flashing. My stomach twisted, her beach photo still burning in my mind. I answered, my voice steady. Diane, I said. Why's there a for sale sign on the house? A pause, then her voice, sharp and fake sweet. Mom, you're confused, she said. We're just exploring options. You don't need that big place anymore. Confused? I gripped the phone, anger surging. It's my house, I said. My name's on the deed. You didn't ask me. She laughed, a cold sound. You gave it to us, Mom. It's ours now. Don't make this hard. Hard. She'd left me in the ICU, stolen my money, and now this. I know about the loans, I said, my voice low. And the credit card. You're done, Diane. Her tone changed, sharp now. You're ruining our lives, she screamed. You'll regret this. The line went dead, and I sat there, shaking, her words like a threat. Jenny overheard, her eyes wide. She's scared, she said, sitting beside me. She knows you're onto her. Scared? Diane sounded angry, dangerous. I showed Jenny the realtor's card, my hands trembling. She's selling my house, I said again, like saying it would make it real. Jenny nodded, her voice firm. You need that lawyer, Clara. And fast. I agreed, but fear not at me. Diane wasn't just stealing. She was erasing me, and I didn't know how far she'd go. My phone buzzed again, a text from Mia, my granddaughter, 14 and sweet, or so I'd thought. Grandma. Why are you mad at Mom? She's crying. My heart ached, picturing Mia's big eyes, her braids swinging. Was she part of this? Or just caught in Diane's lies? I didn't reply, my hands too shaky. I couldn't trust anyone, not yet. Gary arrived an hour later, a tall man with gray hair and a kind smile, his briefcase full of papers. Ellen was with him, her face worried but fierce. Clara, Gary said, sitting by my bed. Ellen told me everything. The house, the money, the loans. We can fight this. Fight. The word felt big, scary but right. How? I asked, my voice small. He opened his briefcase, pulling out a copy of the house deed. Your name's still on it, he said. Diane can't sell without your signature. And the bank fraud? We'll file a report, get the police involved. Police? Against my daughter? I swallowed, my chest tight. Will she go to jail? I asked, my voice breaking. Gary's eyes softened. Maybe, he said. But we'll focus on getting your money back, stopping the sale. You ready? I nodded, clutching Frank's locket. I'm ready, I said, stronger now. But as Gary explained the steps, freezing the sale, filing fraud reports, Ellen's phone rang, her face paling as she answered. What? She said, her voice sharp. She listened, then looked at me, her eyes wide. Clara, she said, hanging up. The realtor just called. Someone broke into the house last night. Windows smashed, papers missing. My heart stopped. The house. My house. Diane. I asked, my voice trembling. Ellen shook her head. They don't know, but the realtor said Diane called this morning, asking about the sale, acting like nothing happened. Acting. Diane was covering her tracks, or worse, sending someone to take what she couldn't. Gary frowned, his pen pausing. This changes things, he said. We need to secure the property now. And Clara, you can't go back there. It's not safe. Not safe. My home, the place I'd raised Diane, wasn't mine anymore. I looked at Jenny, who'd stayed, her shift over but her care not. Where do I go? I asked, my voice small. She squeezed my hand. You'll figure it out, she said. You're not alone. Ellen spoke up, her voice firm. You're coming to my place, Clara. As soon as they discharge you. I nodded, tears burning my eyes. Ellen wasn't family, but she was more than Diane had been. Gary stood, his face serious. I'll call the police, get a report on the break-in, he said. And Clara, we're filing that fraud report today. Diane's not getting away with this. I nodded, my hands steady now, the locket warm against my skin. As they left, my phone buzzed again, another text from Diane. Mom, stop this. You're hurting Mia and Noah. Come home. Come home. To a house she'd broken into, a life she'd stolen? My heart ached for the kids, but I saw Diane's game now. She was using them, like she'd used me. I turned to Jenny, my voice steady. She's not my daughter anymore, I said. Jenny nodded, her eyes sad but proud. You're doing what's right, Clara, she said. I wasn't sure, but I felt it, a fire growing stronger, telling me I wasn't done. Diane could scream, threaten, lie. But I held the deed, the truth, and I was coming for what was mine. And this time, she'd be the one left behind. I sat in the ICU. The monitors beep a steady rhythm, but my heart raced like it was running from Diane's lies. Frank's locket hung heavy around my neck, its cool metal grounding me as I gripped the house deed Gary had left. My name was on it, Clara Wilson, not Diane's, and that was my weapon. The break-in at the house, smashed windows, missing papers, felt like Diane's fist through my life, but I wasn't broken. Not yet. Jenny, the nurse, brought me tea. Her shift over but her kindness still here. You're quiet, she said, sitting beside me, her eyes soft. What's on your mind? I showed her Diane's text. Mom, stop this. You're hurting Mia and Noah. My voice shook. She's using the kids against me, I said. Jenny frowned, her hand on mine. That's low, Clara. But you're not the one hurting them. She is. I nodded, but my heart ached for Mia and Noah. Their faces flashing in my mind, laughing at Christmas, hugging me tight. Were they part of her lies, too? Ellen called, her voice tense. Clara, the police checked the house, she said. They found fingerprints, but they're not Diane's. Someone else was there. My stomach dropped. Someone else? Who? I asked, my voice barely a whisper. Ellen paused, her words careful. They don't know yet, but the realtor saw a man hanging around last week, asking about the sale. Diane was with him. A man. My mind spun to the credit card charges, the loans in my name. Was Diane working with someone worse? I told Ellen about the $3,000 jewelry charge, the new loan attempt. She's not alone, I said, fear creeping in. Ellen's voice hardened. Gary's meeting the police today, she said. We'll find out who he is. You focus on getting stronger. Stronger? I wanted to, but Diane's betrayal felt like a weight I couldn't lift. Gary came by that afternoon, his briefcase heavier than before. Clara, he said, sitting by my bed. The police are treating the break-in as targeted. They think it's tied to the fraud. Targeted. The word chilled me. What do they know? I asked, my hands clutching the locket. He opened a folder, showing a photo, a grainy security camera shot of a man, tall, in a dark jacket, near my house. Recognize him? Gary asked. I shook my head, my heart pounding. No, I said. But Diane's been spending my money. Maybe he's why. Gary nodded, his face grim. We're tracing the credit card charges, he said. And I've filed a restraining order against Diane. She can't come near you or the house. A restraining order? Against my daughter? My chest tightened, but I nodded. Good, I said, my voice steady but my heart breaking. Jenny stayed, listening, her eyes fierce. You're doing the right thing, Clara, she said. But you've got to be careful. She's desperate. Desperate. I saw Diane's beach photo, her smug smile. And now this. A stranger, a break-in, her lies piling up. My phone buzzed, and I flinched, expecting Diane. It was Noah, my 12-year-old grandson, his text short. Grandma, Mom says you're stealing our house. Is that true? My heart stopped. Noah, sweet Noah, who'd helped me bake cookies, now thought I was the villain. I showed Jenny the text, tears burning my eyes. She's turning them against me, I said, my voice cracking. Jenny hugged me, her arms warm. They're kids, Clara, she said. They'll see the truth. You've got to keep going. I nodded, but the hurt was deep, like a knife twisting in my chest. I called Ellen, my voice shaky. Noah texted. I said, reading it to her. She sighed, her voice soft. Clara, Mia called me yesterday, asking if you were okay. They're confused, not against you. Confused. I wanted to believe her, but Diane's grip on them was tight. Can you talk to them? I asked. Tell them I'm not stealing, that I love them. Ellen's voice warmed. I will, she said. But Clara, there's something else. I went by the house again. There's a new lock on the gate, one I didn't see before. And a car was parked there, not Diane's. A new lock. A strange car. My fear spiked, picturing the man in the photo, his shadow in my home. Tell Gary. I said, my voice urgent. And the police. Ellen agreed, promising to call them. Gary's phone rang as he packed his papers, his face tightening as he listened. Clara, he said, hanging up. The police found something in the house. A bag hidden in the attic, with cash $10,000, and your old bank statements. My mouth went dry. Cash. My money stashed away, while Diane played victim. Whose is it? I asked, dreading the answer. Gary's eyes met mine. They're testing for prints, he said. But the bag had a name tag. Some guy named Vince. Mean anything? Vince. The name hit like a spark. Diane's old boyfriend. Years ago, a guy Frank never trusted, always asking for money. Maybe, I said, my voice trembling. He was trouble back then. Gary nodded, writing it down. If it's him, he's part of this, he said. We'll find him. Jenny brought me a blanket, her face worried. You're shaking, Clara, she said, tucking it around me. I looked at her, my voice low. I think Diane's with someone dangerous, I said. And they're after my house. She nodded, her eyes steady. Then you keep fighting, she said. For those kids. I nodded, my hands on the locket, Frank's strength in my fingers. But my phone buzzed again, a voicemail this time, from an unknown number. I played it, my heart pounding. Diane's voice low and sharp. Mom, you're making a mistake. Drop this, or you'll lose more than money. My blood ran cold, her threat clear. I showed Gary, who grabbed his phone. We're sending this to the police, he said, his voice hard. I nodded, but fear mixed with anger. Diane wasn't just stealing. She was coming for me, and I had to be ready. As Gary left, Ellen sat with me, her hand on mine. You're not alone, Clara, she said, her voice fierce. I nodded, tears falling, but my heart was set. Diane could threaten, lie, use Vince or anyone else. But I wasn't the Clara she'd left in the ICU. I was fighting for my home, my kids, my life. And I'd make sure she felt every step I took. I lay in the ICU. The hospital's hum a faint backdrop to the fear and in my heart. Diane's voicemail echoed in my head. Drop this, or you'll lose more than money. Her voice, once so familiar, now sent a chill down my spine. I clutched Frank's locket, its warmth steadying me. A reminder of a time when love wasn't a weapon. The police had her message, the cash from the break-in, and Vince's name, Vince, Diane's old boyfriend, who'd always been trouble. I wasn't sure if he was the man in the grainy photo, but the $10,000 hidden in my house, my bank statements beside it, felt like a plan to erase me. I wasn't just Clara, the grandmother who'd baked cookies for Mia and Noah. I was Clara, a woman fighting for her life, her home, and the kids caught in Diane's lies. Jenny, my nurse, sat beside me. Her shift ended, but her care didn't. You're not sleeping, are you? She asked, her eyes soft but worried. I shook my head, my voice low. How can I? My daughter's threatening me, and my grandkids think I'm the bad guy. Her hand squeezed mine, warm and steady. You're not the bad guy, Clara, she said. You're their grandma, and they'll see that. But you've got to keep going. I nodded, but my heart ached, picturing Mia's braid, Noah's shy smile, their texts heavy with Diane's words. Ellen called, her voice urgent. Clara, Gary's with the police, she said. They traced the fingerprints on the cash bag. It's Vince, all right. He's got a record, fraud, theft. They think Diane's working with him. My stomach twisted. Vince, back in Diane's life, dragging her deeper into this mess. Why him? I asked, my voice trembling. Ellen paused, her tone careful. There's more, she said. The police found emails on Vince's old account, hacked from a laptop in your house. Diane was promising him half the house sale. Half the house. My house, the one I'd paid for, the one I'd raised her in, now a prize for her crook boyfriend. I felt sick, my hands shaking. She planned this. I said, my voice breaking. Ellen's voice softened. I'm sorry, Clara, she said. But Gary's filing to block the sale today. Diane won't get a dime. I nodded, tears burning my eyes, but anger surged too. Diane wasn't just stealing. She was selling my past, my future, to a man who'd hurt her before. Jenny overheard, her face fierce. She doesn't deserve you, Clara, she said, bringing me water. You're fighting for those kids, not her. I nodded, but my heart was torn. I saw Diane as a little girl, clinging to me after nightmares, promising to love me forever. Where had that girl gone? My phone buzzed and I flinched, expecting Diane's venom. It was Mia, a voicemail, her voice small and shaky. Grandma, I miss you, she said. Mom says you're taking our house, but I don't believe her. Are you okay? My heart cracked, tears falling as I played it again. Mia, my sweet Mia, still loved me. I showed Jenny, my voice thick. She doesn't hate me, I said, hope flickering. Jenny smiled, her eyes wet. See. They're not lost, Clara. You keep going for them. I nodded, saving the voicemail, Mia's voice a lifeline in the dark. I called Ellen back, my voice steadier. Mia left a message, I said. She doesn't believe Diane. Can you see her? Tell her I'm okay. Ellen's voice warmed. I'll try, Clara, she said. But there's a twist. The police checked the house again. They found your old jewelry box, hidden in the garage, empty. The jewelry's gone. My jewelry, Frank's gifts, my wedding ring, his mother's pearls, gone. My chest ached, not from the heart attack, but from loss. Diane took it, I said, my voice flat. Ellen hesitated. Maybe, she said. But the realtor saw Vince near the garage last week, carrying a bag. Vince. My fear spiked, picturing his smirk, his hands on my memories. Tell Gary. I said, my voice urgent. And the police. They need to find him. Ellen agreed, promising to call. Gary came by later, his face grim but determined. Clara, he said, pulling out papers. We've stopped the house sale. The deed's in your name, locked tight. But the police want to talk to Mia and Noah. They think Diane's using them to hide stuff. My heart sank. My grandkids, pulled into her crimes. They're just kids, I said, my voice breaking. Gary's eyes softened. I know, he said. We'll protect them. But there's something else. Vince skipped town yesterday, right after the break-in. The police think Diane's with him. Diane running with Vince, my jewelry, my money. I felt dizzy, but anger steadied me. Find her, I said, my voice hard. Gary nodded, writing it down. We will, he said. And Clara, we're moving you to Ellen's tomorrow. The hospital's discharging you. Ellen's. A new start, but also a new fear. Diane knew where Ellen lived. As Gary left, Jenny helped me pack, her hands gentle. You're scared, aren't you? She asked, folding my clothes. I nodded, my voice low. What if she comes for me? I said, picturing Diane's cold eyes. Jenny's face hardened. She won't touch you, she said. You've got Ellen, Gary, me. And you've got you. Me. I nodded, tears falling, her words sinking in. But my phone buzzed again, a text from an unknown number. You can't hide, Mom. I know where you're going. My blood ran cold, Diane's threat real now. I showed Jenny, her eyes wide. Call Gary, she said, grabbing her phone. I nodded, but my hands shook, Frank's locket my only anchor. Diane was coming, and I wasn't ready. But I wasn't running either. I was Clara, and I'd fight for Mia, Noah, and me no matter what she took next. This is Section 5, brimming with twists. Vince's confirmed involvement, stolen jewelry, Diane's emails with Vince, her flight with him, and a new threatening text. And humanized moments, Clara's pain over Mia and Noah, her bond with Jenny and Ellen, and Mia's heartfelt voicemail. Dialogues drive the emotional stakes, keeping it suspenseful and aligned with the niche. Please say next for Section 6 or share feedback if you want tweaks. The hospital room felt smaller, the walls closing in as Diane's text burned in my mind. You can't hide, Mom. I sat on the edge of my bed, Frank's locket in my hands. Its familiar weight my only steady thing. I was Clara, 67. A grandmother who'd loved too much, given too much, and now faced a daughter who wanted me gone. Mia's voicemail, her small voice saying she missed me, played over and over in my heart, but Diane's threat drowned it out. I saw Noah's face, his crooked grin, and wondered if he still loved me, or if Diane had poisoned him too. Jenny, my nurse, packed my bag for discharge, her hands gentle but her eyes fierce. You're scared, Clara, she said, sitting beside me. Talk to me. I looked at her, tears spilling. She knows I'm going to Ellen's, I said, my voice shaking. What if she hurts Mia and Noah? Jenny hugged me, her arms warm like a mother's should be. You're fighting for them, she said. That's love, Clara. Real love. Ellen arrived, her face tired but kind, carrying a sweater for me. You're coming home with me, she said, her voice firm. No arguments. I nodded, grateful, but my heart was heavy. Home wasn't Diane's house anymore, not with Vince's fingerprints, my stolen jewelry, and $10,000 in cash hidden there. Gary, Ellen's brother, called, his voice sharp. Clara, the police tracked Vince's car, he said. It's in Georgia with Diane's plates. They're together on the run. On the run. My daughter, running with a thief, my money, my memories. I gripped the locket, my voice low. What about Mia and Noah? I asked. Gary paused, his tone soft. They're with Diane's friend Karen. The police are checking on them. Karen. I barely knew her, a loud woman who'd laughed at Diane's beach photos. Are they safe? I asked, my voice breaking. Gary sighed. We're making sure, he said. But Clara, there's more. The police found a burner phone in the house, with texts to Vince. Diane told him to take care of you if you fought back. My blood froze. Take care of me. I saw Diane's cold eyes, her beach smile, and now this, a plan to silence me. Jenny gasped, overhearing, her hand on my arm. She wouldn't, she said, but her voice shook. I looked at her, tears falling. She already did, I said. She left me to die. The words hurt, but they were true. Diane wasn't my little girl anymore, the one who'd drawn me pictures, who'd cried when Frank died. She was someone else, someone dangerous. Ellen sat beside me, her face pale. Clara, you're not alone, she said, her voice fierce. We're your family now. Family. The word warmed me, but it stung too. I'd lost Diane, maybe Mia and Noah, but Ellen and Jenny were here, holding me up when I couldn't stand. I nodded, wiping my eyes. Thank you, I said, my voice thick. I don't know what I'd do without you. My phone buzzed and I flinched, expecting Diane's venom. It was a photo from Mia, no words, just her and Noah at a park, their faces sad, Karen's shadow behind them. My heart ached, their eyes so like Frank's, full of questions I couldn't answer. They're okay, I whispered, showing Ellen. She nodded, her eyes wet. They need you, Clara, she said. We'll get them back. Back. I wanted to believe her, but Diane's grip was tight. I called Gary, my voice urgent. Mia sent a photo, I said. They're with Karen. Can the police check on them? Gary's voice was firm. I'm on it, he said. And Clara, we found something else. Your will, it's been changed. Diane had a lawyer draw up a new one, leaving everything to her. Your signature's forged. My will. My breath caught, the room spinning. Diane hadn't just taken my money, my house, my jewelry. She'd rewritten my life, like I was already gone. Jenny helped me stand, her arms steady. You're stronger than this, she said, her voice fierce. She can't take you. I nodded, but my legs shook, the weight of it all crushing me. I saw Frank's face, his smile, his belief in me. I won't let her, I said, my voice low but sure. Ellen grabbed my bag, her face set. Let's get you out of here, she said. You're not safe until we stop her. I nodded, but as we walked to her car, my phone buzzed again, a voicemail from Noah, his voice small and scared. Mom's gone, he said. She left us with Karen. She said you hate us. I don't believe her, but where are you? My heart broke, tears streaming. Noah, my boy, alone and scared, still reaching for me. I played it for Ellen, my voice cracking. They're alone, I said. We have to find them. Ellen's eyes widened, her hands gripping the wheel. We will, she said, dialing Gary. Clara, this is good. The kids are talking to you. Diane's losing control. Losing control. I nodded, but fear mixed with hope. Diane was on the run, but she'd left Mia and Noah behind. Were they safe with Karen? Or was she part of this? Gary picked up, his voice urgent. Clara, the police are going to Karen's now, he said. And we've got a warrant for Diane and Vince. They won't get far. I nodded, my hands on the locket, Noah's voice in my ears. But as we pulled into Ellen's driveway, a car slowed past, its windows dark, too slow to be casual. My heart stopped, Diane's threat real now. Ellen, I whispered, someone's watching. She locked the doors, her face pale. Stay down, she said, grabbing her phone. I crouched, my heart pounding, Frank's locket my anchor. Diane wasn't here, but her shadow was, and I wasn't ready. But I wasn't giving up, not with Mia and Noah needing me. This is Section 6, fully humanized with emotional, relatable moments, Clara's love for Mia and Noah, her bond with Jenny and Ellen, and Noah's heartbreaking voicemail, and twists, Diane's plan to take care of Clara, the forged will, Diane and Vince's flight, and the suspicious car. Dialogues deepen the stakes, keeping it suspenseful and aligned with the niche. Please say next for Section 7 or share feedback if you want tweaks. Ellen's living room was warm, with soft lamplight and a quilt on the couch, but I felt cold, Diane's threat lingering like a shadow. I sat by the window, Frank's locket in my hands, its edges worn from years of love. Noah's voicemail played in my heart. Grandma, Mom's gone. She said you hate us. His scared voice broke me, and Mia's photo, their sad faces at the park, was all I could see. I was Clara, a grandmother who'd given everything, now fighting to hold on to the kids Diane had left behind. Ellen made tea, her hands steady but her eyes worried. You're safe here, Clara, she said, handing me a mug. I nodded, but my hands shook, the memory of that dark car slowing past her house fresh. What if she finds me? I asked, my voice small. Ellen sat beside me, her face fierce. She won't touch you, she said. Not with the police on her trail. I wanted to believe her, but Diane's words, you can't hide, felt too real. Gary called, his voice urgent. Clara, the police found Mia and Noah at Karen's, he said. They're safe, but Karen's saying Diane paid her to keep them quiet. My heart leaped, then sank. Paid. Diane had abandoned her kids like she'd abandoned me. Can I see them? I asked, my voice breaking. Gary paused, his tone soft. Not yet, he said. The police are questioning Karen, and social services is involved. But Clara, there's a twist. Noah told them he saw Vince take your jewelry box from the house before they left for Florida. My breath caught. Noah, my boy, had seen it all. My jewelry, Frank's ring, gone because of Vince, and Diane had let it happen. Is Noah okay? I asked, tears falling. Gary's voice warmed. He's scared, but he's talking. He said he wants to see you. My heart swelled, love mixing with pain. Noah still needed me, and I'd fight for him, for Mia, no matter what. Ellen hugged me, her eyes wet. They're coming back to you, Clara, she said, her voice thick. I nodded, but fear not at me. Diane was with Vince on the run, and Karen was no better, selling out my grandkids. I looked at Ellen, my voice low. I don't know who Diane is anymore, I said. She's not my daughter. Ellen squeezed my hand, her face sad but kind. You raised her with love, she said. What she became, that's on her. Her words hit deep, easing the guilt I'd carried for Diane's choices. I saw her as a child, giggling in my arms, but that girl was gone, replaced by someone who'd left me in the ICU, stolen my life, and now her own kids. My phone buzzed and I flinched, expecting Diane's hate. It was a text from an unknown number, but not her. Clara, it's Mia. I took Karen's phone. We're okay, but I'm scared. Mom said bad things about you. I know they're not true. Help us. My heart stopped, tears streaming as I read it again. Mia, my brave girl, risking everything to reach me. I showed Ellen, my hands shaking. She's fighting for me, I said, my voice thick. Ellen's eyes widened, her voice urgent. Call Gary now. I nodded, dialing fast, my heart racing. Gary, Mia texted. I said, reading it to him. His voice was sharp. Give me the number, he said. We'll trace it. Clara, this is big. Mia's helping us find Diane. Helping us. My granddaughter, 14 and scared, was braver than I'd ever been. But as Gary spoke, Ellen's doorbell rang, sharp and loud. I froze, my heart pounding, the dark car flashing in my mind. Ellen peered through the window, her face paling. It's a man, she whispered, grabbing her phone. Not police. My stomach dropped. Vince. Or someone Diane sent. Don't open it, I said, my voice trembling. Ellen nodded, dialing 911, her voice low. There's a stranger at my door, she said. We're not safe. I crouched by the couch, Frank's locket in my hand, my breath shallow. The man knocked hard, his voice muffled. Clara, I know you're there, he said. We need to talk. My blood ran cold. Not Vince's voice, but familiar, like a ghost from my past. I looked at Ellen, my voice a whisper. I think it's Paul. Paul, Diane's father, my ex-husband, who'd walked out when she was 5, never looking back. Ellen's eyes widened, her phone still to her ear. Your ex? She whispered as the operator spoke. I nodded, my mind spinning. Paul, after all these years, here now. Why? Had Diane called him, used him to scare me? The knocking stopped, and we heard footsteps fading. A car engine starting. Ellen checked the window, her voice shaky. He's gone, she said, hanging up. I sank onto the couch, tears falling, Paul's voice echoing. Why now? I asked, my voice breaking. Ellen sat beside me, her hand on mine. Maybe Diane's desperate, she said. But Clara, you're stronger than both of them. Stronger? I wasn't sure, but Mia's text, Noah's voicemail, kept me going. They needed me, and I wouldn't let Paul, Diane, or anyone stop me. Gary called back, his voice urgent. Clara, we traced Mia's text, he said. Karen's lying. She's been texting Vince, telling him where the kids are. The police are taking them to a safe place now. A safe place. My heart lifted, but fear lingered. Where? I asked, my voice trembling. A foster home for now, he said. But Clara, we're building a case. Diane's text to Vince mentioned you, the house, everything. She's in deep. Deep. I nodded, my hands on the locket, Paul's voice mixing with Diane's threats. I looked at Ellen, my voice steady. I want to see Mia and Noah, I said. And I want Diane stopped. Ellen nodded, her eyes fierce. We'll make it happen, she said. I nodded, tears falling, but my heart was set. Diane could run, threaten, send Paul or Vince. But I was Clara, and I'd fight for my kids, my life, with every breath I had. Ellen's house smelled of fresh coffee, but my heart was too heavy to feel its warmth. I sat on her couch, Frank's locket in my hands, its silver edges smooth from years of holding on. Paul's voice at the door last night, Clara, I know you're there, haunted me, a ghost from a past I'd buried. I was Clara, a grandmother who'd loved Mia and Noah with everything, now fighting to bring them back from a foster home. While Diane and Vince ran from the law. Mia's text, Noah's scared voicemail, were my lifelines, proof they still loved me despite Diane's lies. Ellen sat beside me, her eyes tired but kind, a quilt over her lap. You didn't sleep, did you? She asked, her voice soft. I shook my head, tears burning. I keep hearing Noah's voice, I said, my voice cracking. He thinks I hate him. Ellen hugged me, her arms steady. He knows you don't, she said. Kids feel love, Clara, even through lies. I nodded, but my heart ached, picturing their faces, alone in a strange place needing me. Gary called, his voice steady but urgent. Clara, the police have Mia and Noah safe, he said. They're talking, telling everything. Noah saw Diane give Vince your bank card before they left for Florida. My breath caught, Noah's bravery hitting me hard. My boy, so young, carrying that weight. Can I see them? I asked, my voice trembling. Gary's tone softened. Soon, he said. Social services needs to clear it, but Clara, they asked for you. Mia wrote you a letter. A letter? My heart swelled, tears falling. What does it say? I asked, my voice thick. Gary paused, his voice gentle. She says she's sorry for believing, Diane, that she loves you. Noah added a drawing of you and them in your garden. My garden, where we'd planted sunflowers, laughed under the sun. I sobbed, Ellen's arms around me, love and pain mixing together. Ellen wiped her eyes, her voice fierce. You're their home, Clara, she said. No one can take that. I nodded, but fear lingered. Paul's voice, Diane's threats, Vince's shadow, they were closing in. I looked at Ellen, my voice low. Why's Paul here? I asked. After all these years? She shook her head, her face worried. Maybe Diane called him, she said. Or he's after something. After something. Paul had left when Diane was 5, never sent a card, never called. Now he was back, and I didn't trust it. My phone buzzed and I flinched, expecting Diane's hate. It was a voicemail, from a number I didn't know. My hands shook as I played it, Paul's voice rough but calm. Clara, I'm not here to hurt you, he said. Diane called me, said you're taking her house. I know it's yours. I want to help. Help. I stared at the phone, my heart racing. Paul help me? After abandoning us? Ellen's eyes widened, her voice sharp. Don't trust him, she said, grabbing her phone. Call Gary. I nodded, dialing fast, my hands trembling. Gary, Paul left a voicemail. I said, playing it for him. Gary's voice was hard. He's lying, he said. The police checked. Paul's been in touch with Vince, texts going back months. They're linked. My stomach dropped. Paul, with Vince, with Diane. My ex-husband, part of her plan. What do they want? I asked, my voice breaking. Gary's tone darkened. Your house, he said. The police found a contract forged, giving Paul power of attorney over your assets. Diane signed your name. Power of attorney. My chest tightened, the room spinning. Diane hadn't just stolen my money, my jewelry. She tried to give my life to Paul, like I was already gone. Ellen gasped, her hand on mine. You're still here, Clara, she said, her voice fierce. They can't take you. I nodded, tears streaming, her words anchoring me. I saw Frank's face, his smile, his belief in me. I won't let them, I said, my voice low but sure. But my phone buzzed again, a text from Mia, using Karen's phone. Grandma, a man came to see us. He said he's our dad. Is that true? My heart stopped, Paul's voice echoing. Dad. He'd never been their dad, not to Diane, not to her kids. I showed Ellen, my voice trembling. He's at the foster home, I said. He's after them. Ellen's face paled, her voice urgent. Call Gary now. I nodded, dialing, my heart pounding. Gary, Paul's with Mia and Noah. I said, my voice shaking. He's telling them he's their father. Gary's voice was sharp. I'm on it, he said. The police are going there now. Clara, stay put. I hung up, tears falling. Ellen's arms around me. Why's he doing this? I asked, my voice small. I loved him once, Ellen. I thought he loved Diane. She shook her head, her eyes sad. Some people only love themselves, she said. But you, Clara, you love real. That's why you'll win. Win. I wasn't sure, but Mia's letter, Noah's drawing, kept me fighting. I saw them in my garden, their hands in mine. And I knew I'd do anything to bring them back. Ellen made more tea, her hands shaking now. Your family, Clara, she said, her voice thick. Not just to them, to me. I nodded, tears falling, her words warming the cold inside me. Family. Not Diane, not Paul, but Ellen, Mia, Noah. The ones who stayed, who loved me back. But as we sat, a knock came at the door, soft but firm. I froze, Paul's voice in my head. Ellen checked the window, her face paling. It's a woman, she whispered. Not Diane, but she's holding a badge. A badge? My heart raced, hope and fear mixing. I stood, my legs shaky, Frank's locket in my hand. Open it, I said, my voice steady. Ellen nodded, unlocking the door, and a woman stepped in, her face kind but serious. Clara Wilson? She asked. I nodded, my throat tight. I'm Detective Lopez, she said. We have Diane and Vince in custody. And there's something you need to know about Paul. My heart stopped, her words a new twist, and I braced myself, knowing nothing would be the same. Detective Lopez stood in Ellen's living room, her badge glinting under the soft lamplight, but her eyes were kind, like she saw the weight I carried. I sat on the couch, Frank's locket in my hands, its familiar warmth my anchor. I was Clara, a grandmother who'd lost so much, my daughter Diane, my savings, my home. But not my love for Mia and Noah. Their faces sat in Mia's photo, their voices and voicemails kept me fighting. Diane and Vince were in custody, a relief that felt heavy, but Paul's sudden return, his lies about helping me, twisted my heart. Ellen stood beside me, her hand on my shoulder, her face tense but steady. What about Paul? I asked, my voice shaking, dreading Lopez's answer. She sat across from me, her voice calm but serious. Clara, Paul's been working with Diane longer than we thought, she said. We found his fingerprints in your house on the jewelry box. My heart stopped, the room spinning. Paul, my ex-husband, who'd walked out on us, stealing from me too. Ellen gasped, her grip tightening. He was part of this, she asked, her voice sharp. Lopez nodded, pulling out a notebook. Paul contacted Diane months ago, she said. He saw her vacation photos online, knew you'd paid for their house. He wanted a cut. A cut? My chest ached, picturing Paul's face, his fake plea to help. I'd loved him once, trusted him with Diane, And now he'd betrayed us both. Why didn't he come to me? I asked, tears burning my eyes. Lopez's face softened. Greed, she said. He's got debts, Clara. Diane promised him your house sale money if he helped scare you off. Scare me off. I saw his shadow at Ellen's door, his voice calling my name, and shivered. Where is he now? I asked, my voice trembling. Lopez's eyes darkened. We're looking, she said. He's gone underground, but we'll find him. Ellen sat beside me, her voice low. You're safe here, Clara, she said, her eyes fierce. I nodded, but my heart was with Mia and Noah, alone in a foster home, Paul's lies fresh in their minds. Can I see my grandkids? I asked Lopez, my voice thick. Her face warmed, a small smile breaking through. That's why I'm here, she said. Social services cleared a visit. They're waiting for you. My heart leaped, tears spilling. Mia and Noah, my babies, waiting for me. I looked at Ellen, my voice cracking. They still want me, I said, hope flooding in. She hugged me, her eyes wet. Of course they do, she said. You're their grandma. I nodded, love overwhelming the fear, picturing their hugs, their laughter in my garden. But Lopez's next words hit like a storm. There's more, Clara, she said, pulling out a photo. It was my house, my front door, but with graffiti, get out, old lady. My stomach twisted, the words sharp like Diane's threats. When was this? I asked, my voice barely a whisper. Last night, Lopez said. We think Paul did it after he came here. He's trying to push you out. Push me out. My home, where I'd raised Diane, where Mia and Noah played. Defaced by the man who'd left us. I sobbed. Ellen's arms around me, her voice fierce. He won't win, Clara, she said. You're stronger than him. Stronger. I wasn't sure, but Mia and Noah's faces kept me going. I wiped my eyes, my voice steady. I want to see them, I said to Lopez. Today. She nodded, writing it down. I'll arrange it, she said. But Clara, stay vigilant. Paul's still out there. As Lopez left, Ellen made lunch, her hands shaky but kind. You're not alone, Clara, she said, setting a sandwich before me. I nodded, tears falling, her warmth like a lifeline. I saw Frank's smile, his belief in me, and felt him in the locket, in my heart. I miss him, I said, my voice small. He'd know what to do. Ellen sat beside me, her eyes sad but warm. He'd be proud, she said. You're fighting for your family, like he always did. Family. Not Diane, not Paul, but Mia, Noah, Ellen, the ones who stayed. My phone buzzed, and I flinched, expecting Paul's voice. It was a text from Gary. Clara, we found your jewelry. Pawn shop in Georgia, Vince's prince. Diane's talking, blaming Paul. My heart raced, a twist I hadn't seen coming. Diane turning on Paul, her own partner in crime. I showed Ellen, my voice trembling. She's cracking, I said. Ellen nodded, her face grim. Good, she said. Let them tear each other apart. I called Gary, my voice urgent. What's Diane saying? I asked. His tone was hard. She claims Paul planned it all, he said. The loans, the break-in, even the forged will. She says she was scared of him. Scared? I saw Diane's beach photo, her smug smile, and didn't believe it. She's lying, I said, my voice breaking. Gary sighed. Maybe, he said. But her texts to Vince don't lie. She told him to handle Paul if he got greedy. Handle Paul. My stomach dropped, Diane's cruelty sinking in. She'd used Vince, Paul, even her kids, to get my house, my money. What about Mia and Noah? I asked, my heart pounding. Gary's voice softened. They're safe, he said. And Clara, they're asking for you. We're pushing for temporary custody. Custody. My heart swelled, hope mixing with fear. I could be their home, their safety, if I kept fighting. Ellen helped me pack for the visit, her hands gentle. You're their everything, Clara, she said, folding my sweater. I nodded, tears falling, her words warming me. But as we loaded the car, a note was tucked under the windshield, handwritten. You're not safe, Clara. My heart stopped. Paul's shadow real now. I showed Ellen, her face paling. Call Lopez, she said, grabbing her phone. I nodded, my hands shaking, Frank's locket my strength. Paul was out there, Diane was talking, and Mia and Noah needed me. I wasn't running, not anymore. I was Clara, and I'd face them all to bring my family home. Ellen's garden glowed in the morning light. Sunflowers nodding like they knew my heart was finally light. I sat on her porch, Frank's locket around my neck, its silver warm from my touch. I was Clara 67, a grandmother who'd survived a heart attack, Diane's betrayal, and Paul's lies. Mia and Noah were safe, waiting to see me, their love stronger than Diane's poison. Diane and Vince were in jail, their plans to steal my house, my money, my life crumbling. But Paul was still out there, his graffiti, "Get out, old lady," a scar on my home. Detective Lopez's words echoed. "We're looking for him." I sipped coffee, Ellen's quilt over my lap, feeling stronger than I had in months. Ellen joined me, her smile soft. "You're glowing, Clara," she said, sitting beside me. I nodded, tears prickling. "I'm getting my kids back," I said, my voice thick. She squeezed my hand, her eyes wet. "You never lost them," she said. "They always knew you." Lopez called, her voice crisp. "Clara, we're set for the visit," she said. "Mia and Noah are at the foster home ready. And there's news. Paul's been caught." My heart leaped, relief flooding me. "Where?" I asked, my voice shaky. "At a motel 2 towns over," she said. "He had your wedding ring, Clara, trying to pawn it." My ring, Frank's gift, in Paul's hands. Anger flared, but joy drowned it. Mia and Noah were waiting, and Paul was done. "What's next?" I asked, gripping the locket. Lopez's tone warmed. "He's charged with theft, fraud, conspiracy," she said. "And Diane's talking, giving him up to save herself. You're free, Clara." Free. The word felt big, like a door opening. I thanked her, my voice steady, picturing Diane's cold beach smile, now just a memory. Ellen drove me to the foster home, her car full of nervous hope. "You're their home, Clara," she said, her voice fierce. I nodded, tears falling, Mia's letter in my pocket, Noah's drawing of our garden tucked beside it. The foster home was plain, but Mia and Noah ran out, their faces bright, their arms around me before I could speak. "Grandma," Mia sobbed, her braid swinging. Noah clung to me, his voice small. "I knew you didn't hate us," he said. I held them tight, tears streaming, their warmth healing every hurt. "I love you," I whispered, my voice thick. "Always." We sat on a bench, their hands in mine, and they told me everything. Diane's lies, Paul's visit, their fear. "He said he was our dad," Mia said, her eyes sad. I shook my head, my voice gentle. "He's not," I said. "But I'm here, and I'm not leaving." They nodded, their smiles small but real, my family again. But Lopez arrived, her face serious, a folder in her hand. "Clara, we need to talk," she said, sitting with us. My heart tensed, Paul's shadow lingering. "What's wrong?" I asked, holding Mia's hand. Lopez opened the folder, showing a bank statement. "We found an offshore account," she said. "Diane transferred $20,000 of your money there before the arrest. Paul had access." My stomach dropped, anger surging. "More stolen money even now. Can we get it back?" I asked, my voice trembling. Lopez nodded, her eyes fierce. "We're working on it," she said. "But Clara, there's a twist. Diane left a letter for you." "A letter?" My heart raced, picturing Diane's handwriting, her threats. Lopez handed it to me, her voice soft. "Read it when you're ready," she said. I waited until Mia and Noah were playing, their laughter easing my fear. Ellen sat with me, her hand on mine as I opened the letter. Diane's words were sharp, uneven. "Mom, I didn't mean for this. Paul pushed me, Vince too. I was scared. I'm sorry." "Sorry." I felt nothing, her words empty after everything. Her beach trip, my ICU bed, her lies to my kids. I looked at Ellen, my voice low. "It's too late," I said, folding the letter. She nodded, her eyes sad but firm. "You don't owe her anything," she said. I nodded, tears falling, but my heart was clear. Diane had chosen her path, and I'd chosen mine. Mia, Noah, me. Gary called, his voice triumphant. "Clara, we've got your house back," he said. "The deed's clear, and we're suing Diane for damages. You'll get your money too." My heart soared, but I saw my house, its graffiti, its broken windows, and knew I couldn't go back. "Gary," I said, my voice steady, "sell it." He paused, surprised. "Sell it?" he asked. I nodded, watching Mia and Noah laugh. It's not home anymore, I said. I want a new start for us. He agreed, promising to handle it, and I felt light, like I'd shed Diane's weight. I told Ellen, my voice firm. I'm moving somewhere safe with the kids, I said. She smiled, tears in her eyes. You're unstoppable, Clara, she said. But the biggest twist came that afternoon. Lopez returned, her face grim. Clara, we found Paul's phone, she said. He recorded Diane, planning to betray her, take the offshore money himself. I gasped, Paul's greed turning on Diane. Their lies eating each other. What happens now? I asked, holding Noah's hand. Lopez's eyes hardened. They're both facing years, she said. And Clara, we're recovering that $20,000. It's yours. Mine. I nodded, tears falling, not for Diane or Paul, but for me for surviving. I looked at Mia and Noah, their faces bright, and knew I'd won, not just money, but my life. That night at Ellen's, I tucked Mia and Noah into bed, their foster care papers signed for my custody. We're a family, I whispered, kissing their foreheads. They smiled, asleep in seconds, safe in my love. Ellen sat with me, coffee in hand, her smile warm. You did it, Clara, she said. I nodded, Frank's locket in my hand, his strength in my heart. I'd sold the house, disappeared from Diane's world, and built a new one, with Mia, Noah, and Ellen. Diane and Paul could keep their lies, their jail cells. I had my kids, my freedom, and a lesson I'd never forget. Love yourself first, because some people never will. And as the sun rose, I felt it, peace real and mine at last.